Okay, I call to order the special council meeting of Wednesday, April 30th, 2025. I'd like to acknowledge that we are gathered on the Treaty 8 First Nations territory in the long-standing presence of the elders and the ancestors of Treaty 8. Through this acknowledge, we extend recognition and respect to the BC Treaty 8 First Nations and all those who call the Peace Country home. I'd like to move to adoption of agenda. Recommendation that council adopts the April 30th, 2025 special council meeting agenda. Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Johnston. Discussion?
I believe there's an error with the agenda here because under 12.3 we have a recommendation for first, second, and third readings of the municipal fees and charges bylaw.
Yeah, so Mr. Smolsky will allude to why that's happening to be redone.
Yeah, we have one administrative and clerical error that was included in one of the fee schedules. It was concerning the solid waste management fee schedule, and we had incorporated an increase to it when there wasn't any increase that was supposed to be associated with that user fee schedule.
So it's actually going down.
But we're still reading so we're starting the readings of the bylaw and passing the bylaw all at the same time.
Oh no, so I looked into that last time, and I do have it on my phone because I did screenshot the information because I know that we talked about that and that we were both kind of unsure about it. So as per Division 3 of the Community Charter under bylaws, proceedings, requirements for passing bylaws, before a bylaw can be adopted by a council, it must be given 3 readings by the council. Subject to this section, the applicable bylaw, the procedure bylaw, a bylaw may be given up to 3 readings at one meeting of council. There must be at least 24 hours between the 3rd reading and the adoption of the bylaw. So you can do 3rd readings within the same.
So this 3rd reading is not the adoption of the bylaw?
No.
There'll have to be a 24-hour buffer period between the 3rd reading and the adoption period.
Yeah. So we're totally good, according to Community Charter Division 3. Okay. Anything else regarding the agenda? All those in favor?
In favor.
And that passes. Adoption minutes, none. Introduction of late items, none. Public hearings, none. Delegations, none. Number 8, unfinished business and business arising from the minutes. Recommend that council appoint Mayor Beach and 2 councillors as delegates of the 2025 NCLJ AGM and convention, and directs the staff to arrange registration and travel. Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Johnston. So we just need to figure out which 2 are going. So we do have this within our policy that we had created for conferences, but it has not been discussed who's going. Last year, Councillor Wall and Councillor Rabble did go. So this year, Councillor Woodall and Councillor Johnston, you have the first opportunity to go if you would like.
What are the dates for that?
The dates are the 12th to the 15th
of
May.
No, I'm going to have to decline because I'm waiting for surgery, so I don't know when that's going to be, and I'm unable to attend meetings out of town while I'm waiting for that.
Okay, and Councillor Johnston?
I have to decline.
Perfect. Councillor Rabble and Councillor Wall, would you like to attend the NCLJ?
I don't see why not. I just want to clarify that I was not in attendance last year.
Would you?
Where was it?
It was in Smithers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I attended.
Yes.
You
Did not, right.
Attend
Okay. Well.
I drove.
Yes, right. Gentlemen, are you both available to attend the NCLJ Prince Rupert this year?
Yep.
I can make myself available. Is that leave enough time for staff to organize,
Already organized.
Already got it.
And the date exactly is the what?
12th to the 15th.
Okay.
Okay. All right. These are the 2 that are going. All those in favor of sending myself, Councillor Rabble, and Councillor Wall to the NCLGA?
In favor.
And
I'm in favor of it, but I might need to clarify something with my employer.
Okay.
I just have to, confirm absolutely on my employer's side.
okay, for sure. Thank you. And that was passed, Mr. Spolsky. Under new business, there is none. Item number 10, correspondence, letter of support. Recommend that council approves the issuance of a letter of support for Festival and Company of the Extreme Mudfest event, known as Mudfest 2025, to assist with their liquor license application, and direct staff to prepare and provide the letter to the event organizers accordingly. Seconded by Councillor Wall. Discussion? All those in favor?
In favor.
And that is carried. Wonderful. All right, resolutions, none. Moving on to bylaws. So I'll do the first one and read it all off, and then we don't have to read every single one of them every single time. So, 12.1 municipal regulation amendment bylaw 2025 final, first reading. So this one's final adoption. Thank you. Final adoption for the following bylaws. Bylaw number 1064, Animal Control and Licensing Amendment 2025. Bylaw number 1065, Building Regulation Amendment 2025. Bylaw number 1066, Business License Amendment 2025. Bylaw number 1067, Cemetery and Columbarium Amendment 2025. Bylaw number 1068, Development Application Procedure Amendment 2025. Bylaw number 1069, Hen Keeping Amendment 2025. Bylaw number 1070, Parks and Open Spaces Amendment 2025. Bylaw number 1071, Sewer Charges and Regulation Amendment 2025. Bylaw number 1072, Solid Waste Management Amendment 2025. Bylaw number 1073, Water Conservation Amendment 2025. Bylaw number 1074, Water Utility Rate and Regulation Amendment 2025. Bylaw number 1075, Sign Regulation Amendment 2025. Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Wall. Thank you. Discussion? Councillor Rabble?
So just for clarification, the reason this is being brought forward is what's the reason this is being brought forward again? Just to clarify for the public record.
I can take that.
Please.
So respectfully, Councillor, the reason why these are being brought forward as a regulatory amendment bylaw is for the incorporation and adoption eventually of our consolidated user fee schedules. So all those respective user fee schedules, I want to say there's 12 of them or 14 of them in total. Those are respectively all identified in individual bylaws. So rather than appealing those individual bylaws and then straightening up on the record, what we will do is amend those bylaws so that those fee schedules are no longer incorporated, and now we use the consolidated user fee schedule as the overarching fee document.
So therefore, from each of these respective bylaws, we are striking the fee portion of it because we already have a consolidated user fee bylaw that handles those fees.
We will after we get through the reading process of that today. So both of these kind of processes have to work in conjunction together.
So technically we'll have no fees for a moment here.
For like 5 minutes.
But anyways, just to clarify though, we're pulling out those
Your
certain
building permit,
pieces.
come here now.
The next 2 minutes, yeah. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Yeah, I just
Right.
wanted to
Yes.
clarify. Yeah.
Nope, thank you for that clarification. Okay, any other questions? All those in favor?
In favor?
And that passes. Wonderful. Do I need to read the second recommendation, or was that covered? That covers it, that's what I thought. Okay, moving on to item 12.2, bylaw number 1063, financial plan bylaw 2025-2029, final adoption. That council adopts bylaw number 1063, financial plan 2025-2029. Can I get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Johnston. Discussion? Councillor Wall?
I will be voting opposed to the financial plan bylaw 2025 to 2029, number 1063. As on page 39, it shows progressive tax increases yearly until 2029.
Thank you. Okay. Any other comments or statements? Councillor Rabble?
As previously mentioned, because I believe that we're doing this, the proposed 7% increase for 2025. I'm in opposition to that because I think that we can enhance a variety of different things. I'm not one in favor of increasing taxes. I think we can utilize resources differently and then also create an environment where we receive more revenue from activities by encouraging those activities instead of dissuading them through increased taxation.
Okay. Councillor Woodall?
Yeah, so I like the points that both my colleagues have made there. But the reality is the fee schedule that's laid out in front of us for 2025 to 2029 is prospective. None of that other than 2025 is a go-ahead. The other is just prospective numbers that, as we know, are subject to change multiple times before we get to that point. And I also agree with Councillor Rabble that we should look at other ways to bring revenue into the village and that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, that takes time to build, and in the meantime, we still have to pay our bills. So, definitely something we should be building for and looking forward to in the future. But for now, this tax increase for this year, is where it's at. So I will be voting in favor of it, with the hope that, staff looks into the future to what we can do to keep that number as low as possible going forward, but yet still sustain the community.
Thank you. Okay, Councillor Wall?
I appreciate the point there, Councillor Whittle. I do understand that this is just prospective increases going forwards. However, just having it documented that that's the plan, I don't feel very comfortable with. And the approval of a tax increase this year in a time where, you know, families are having a hard time affording to eat. We've seen, as far as I'm aware, a busier bank than usual. We've seen unemployment rates going up. We've seen interest rates. We've seen other taxes increase yet again. And members of this community are struggling, especially our seniors, and the middle class is kind of going away. So I just do not think that right now is an appropriate time to be making it more expensive for our residents.
Councillor Whittle?
Yeah, and to your point, I agree that, you know, it's a crappy situation to be putting in that we have to increase taxes, but as it is this year, even with this modest tax increase, we're still looking at a $65,000 deficit this year. And if we don't continue to, you know, at least keep pace with it, as we know, most of our infrastructure is aging as well.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to call the question. All those in favor? All those opposed?
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 Councillor Whittle, are you in favor or opposed? I think I'm a misvote there because I can't.
Abstention.
Councillor Whittle? Is that him or us?
We lost him. Let me check. Yeah, we just lost him as a participant. So we'll be back in a moment, I'm assuming.
Recess to reconnect.
Or is it that he didn't?
Lost service or something.
I'm assuming he lost service, yeah. I thought he cut off rather abruptly.
So, point of personal privilege, I guess?
Yeah.
Is that he
Yeah.
needs to be reconnected.
Or is it a tie vote and it fails?
Hello? Oh yeah, no, we're just gonna take a point of personal privilege so that you can get back in and I'll call it again. Okay, well, I was just calling the vote. The only thing is that if you're on speakerphone, I don't think video can hear you, no.
No audio will have some difficulty.
Give me 1 second, I'll see if I can get, I vote in favor of the tax increase in the financial bylaw.
Okay. All right. And then those who are opposed, do you want your opposed noted?
Yes.
Yes.
But I would,
Yes.
point of order? Yes, point of order. I would suggest that maybe we just take a quick pause so that the member can reconvene and then we could recall the vote.
Yeah.
I'm all right with staying on speakerphone because as our meeting procedures allow, we are allowed to call in and do it via phone call in as well, so we're still within procedure.
Okay. All right, is this easier? I'm assuming that your internet's not working on your end. At least your phone's working. Wherever you're standing in your house, don't move.
Yeah, no, as it is, it's just telling me that it's waiting to join the meeting, so I'm still trying to come back in on Zoom, but I'm perfectly fine with participating over speakerphone and
Okay.
participating in this matter as it meets our meeting bylaws.
Okay. Nope. Perfect. Yes, Councillor Rapp.
Would the microphone be able to pick it up?
I'm hoping
If
so.
not, I have notes.
Yeah.
As long as Mr. Sabalski can hear it, that's the official record of the meeting.
Yeah. So.
And the other councilors are able to do it.
All right. Well, as long as you can still follow along with the agenda, Councillor Willow, all that's still good.
Yes, and I'm just trying to log back in on this so we can continue.
Okay, perfect. All right, then I'm going to carry forward on to item number 12.3, bylaw number 1062, consolidated user fee charges, bylaw 2025, for first, second, and third reading. I'd like to recommend that council give first reading to bylaw number 1062, consolidated municipal fees and charges, bylaw 2025. Can I get a seconder?
Second.
That was seconded by Councillor Johnston. Discussion? Councillor Rebel?
Relative to the pre-existing bylaws, are we just simply matching the same fees that were previously charged, or is there a slight increase, or what does that look like? Are we
There's a slight increase on a majority of charges,
what would that increase on average be?
about 8%.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up because you're back on. You good, Councillor Whittle?
Yeah.
Ah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, my apologies, ladies and gentlemen.
No worries. Councillor Wall, your hand's up.
Yes, it was. What would be the purpose of the 8% increase in these fees and charges?
Just for revenue generation purposes, to minimize the potential deficit that would be occurred by the municipality.
Okay.
Majority of these fee schedules haven't had an actual exclusive or dedicated increase in about 3 or 4 fiscal years.
This increase that's happening does not include the water or sewer, is that correct? Okay, that does not include garbage or recycling?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Councillor Rattle?
The numbers are quite interesting, but is there a way, for businesses that don't fall cleanly into this category, besides other financial companies not listed, is there kind of an other category which people can fall under that's more enabling to businesses not prescribed by this? But that would be an amendment to that specific bylaw, which would regard the businesses themselves. Just taking the opportunity since it's on the floor.
But anything that's included in here as a descriptive term is based off of the definitions included in the previous bylaws.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, Councillor Rattle.
Just a matter of technicality, as we've just repealed the clauses within the bylaws that determine the fee schedule, and because we can only do first, second, and third reading of this bylaw, therefore, what business shall be conducted in the interlude between third reading and final adoption if it's to take 24 hours? In that interlude, do we effectively have no fee schedule?
No, we just go off the grandfather fee schedule.
But we just
We
repealed
just
it.
repealed it.
It's not repealed, it's amended.
Yeah.
It's amended, it's not repealed.
But the amendment would refer to a bylaw that doesn't exist. Would it not?
No, it would refer to bylaws that still exist, but the fee schedule has been augmented.
Yeah. And so because we're not adopting the official augmented fee schedule, it would go back into the grandfathered amount that's currently on there. So that change wouldn't take place until this new fee schedule had been fully adopted. So till then, it would just run as it always has. Councillor Wall?
Why are we doing it in this order? Shouldn't we have decided on the fee schedule and then voted to just change the fee schedule within the bylaw instead of repealing the previous fee schedules?
So it has not been repealed. Careful, because you can't say that. It hasn't been.
Is that what we just did though?
We did
No.
not repeal.
We
it.
amended the previous bylaws.
Yes.
So we've amended the previous bylaw without defining what numbers we're amending it to, and now we're deciding on that?
Those numbers are included in here, yes.
So this first, second, and third reading had already taken place of this, and then staff had realized that they included the wrong fee under
Solid waste.
solid waste. It was actually less, and so due to a few solid waste changes that are going to be potentially coming, there's actually savings within this new one. So that's why we have to do first, second, and third reading again. But at this point in time, you would just go grandfather back. So it's like any contract. At the end of a contract, if the contract hasn't been renewed or has not been replaced or amended, it automatically jumps back to the original. It's very, very much the same business.
And rather than opening this up for a full 3 readings, we can just reopen the previous bylaw for a 4th reading to include these changes.
I did just ask if there were changes to our garbage recycling,
There are in this one.
and I was just told no.
On the last one, you were told no. There wasn't in the last one. There is on this one.
No, vice versa. So what we did is we included an increase by accident, that was a clerical error, on solid waste management for that fee schedule. We realized after first, second, and third reading that we included the fee schedule with the increase. Now we've included in this bylaw the fee schedule that does not have that increase.
Oh, that's what you're okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
I
Yeah.
will be voting opposed to this due to the confusion regarding did it go up, what what's changed. I'm still not very comfortable with the first, second, and third reading in one meeting, so.
Thank you, Councillor Wolf. Councillor Rabb?
Technically, all the amendments refer that the bylaw shall become effective May 1st, 2025, which is tomorrow. Meaning that effectively tomorrow when business opens, we've got no fees. Is my interpretation.
Well, that would be the interpretation. The interpretation is we still go off of the grant fee schedule.
Which expires when this one says.
It's officially adopted.
When it's officially adopted.
It's not adopted yet. Yeah. So until it's officially adopted, it cannot take effect. Okay. All right. I'm going to call the question then. All those in favor of first reading?
In favor.
All those opposed?
Opposed?
Would you like your opposed noted?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Councillor Johnston, do you want to read recommendation?
I recommend that council gives a second reading to bylaw number 1062, consolidated municipal fees and charges bylaw 2025.
I will second.
Second.
Well, I beat you to it, Councillor Whittle. Okay. Discussion? I'm going to call the question. All those in favor?
In favor.
All those opposed?
Opposed?
Would you like your opposed noted?
Yes, please.
Yep.
Okay. Recommendation number 3, that council gives the third reading to bylaw number 1062, consolidated municipal fees and charges bylaw 2025. Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Seconded by Councillor Whittle. Thank you. Discussion? All those in favor?
In favor.
All those opposed?
Opposed?
Would you like your opposed noted?
Yes.
Please.
Okay, moving on to item number 3, administration reports, 13.1, account CAO report, none at this time. And then just paying attention to your council calendars.
We would like to determine a adoption date for the special meeting required for the passing and adoption of the bylaw 1062 consolidated municipal fees and charges.
Okay, and you're looking to have that before.
Well, we would hope sooner the better.
Yeah.
And we can meet a 24-hour adoption requirement if we had it tomorrow at 8 p.m. We could go Friday, we can go Monday, Tuesday. There's quite a few options on the agenda.
Okay, Monday is most likely missing the Murdered Indigenous Women's Day in Dawson Creek, so that day will not work for me because I'll be doing the march.
Would Friday work? I can make Friday work if that works for you guys. Then it's done. It's over and then gets everything in line before Monday.
Friday does not work with Councillor Johnston.
So I'll be in Grand Prairie at 3:30 in the morning.
It also does not work for me.
Yeah, Friday doesn't work.
Why do we have to have a special meeting? Why can't we just add this to our next regular meeting?
Well, because we've already put out public notice about the water fee increase as well as some other associated user fee increases effective May 1st. So we can always go back and change that effective notice. Ultimately,
Well, May
we still
1st
have
is tomorrow.
Yeah, we will still have to. So we don't necessarily want to get in the practice of avoiding the adoption of this with, let's just say, timeline.
I'm fine for Tuesday, May 6th.
That works.
No. So the problem I am seeing here is that council has already decided to increase the water rates effectively
Well,
without making the decision. And we've given public notice that the water rates will be increasing tomorrow. And we haven't given ourselves time to actually implement that bylaw by tomorrow.
no, so there is going to have to be a change to the announcement, which we can do on our social media and our website.
So what's the difference if we just do it at our next meeting, we just change it to then, and then we all don't have to come and have a special meeting for it?
When's our next meeting? Just want
May 14th. But one special meeting will be required beforehand, so we can.
I'm not going to be here May 14th,
Or
remember?
the NCLJ?
Yes, so we'll have to figure out some alternative dates for that
Yeah.
council meeting. We can discuss that probably at the special council meeting. That will be required.
Why don't we just decide, if that's our next meeting, we should decide at this meeting, why don't we
Yeah.
just change the regular council meeting date to an earlier date and add this on there?
Can we do it for the 7th?
Yeah, we can do so.
Is the 7th?
Yeah, the 7th would work for me. I can make that work next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will still require one special council meeting for adoption of the tax requisition bylaw. Because we cannot have 3 readings of that bylaw as well as adoption in the
yes.
same meeting.
Okay,
Why
and
can't we do
then,
that at the next meeting?
so,
Because that bylaw is not.
the tax bylaw is not on there, it was struck from from tonight's agenda because it isn't quite done.
Well, why
So-
can't we just, at the next meeting, do the first 3 readings, and then at the following meeting after that, adopt it?
This is May 15th deadline.
Well, why is it stricken from this then? Because I believe it was stricken from the last one too, wasn't it?
No, the financial plan was stricken from the
Yeah.
previous one.
Yeah, this one is still having different kinks worked out in our finance department. I think what could potentially work is if we do our committee of the whole and a special meeting for the adoption of our municipal consolidated fee schedule for the 7th,
Mhm.
and then we hold a special meeting on either the Thursday evening. I know Friday won't work, 'cause you're doing schnitzel, right?
So May 7th, May 8th?
We could get it up. We could get it up.
Today we got that.
So, and then the meeting on May 7th would just be a really, really fast one.
Mhm.
It would just be
Both
it would be the
will
one item. Does that work? The Wednesday, Thursday? Councilor Whittle, does the Wednesday, Thursday work for you?
Yeah, we'll make it work.
What's happening Thursday?
Thursday would be our tax rate.
Adoption.
Yeah, it would be the 24, it would be within the 24-hour limits.
May I attend via Zoom?
Yes, as long as I don't have both of you via Zoom. Unless you can talk Councilor Whittle into limping himself in here.
Councilor Rabel and I both attend via Zoom?
I don't know how that would work with our procedure bylaw.
Mayor Beach,
Yes.
with the meeting bylaw, no different than, if we were to say waive notice, does it just got to be an unanimous or a motion to say that we temporarily amend for that meeting or make an exception for the meeting?
That's all we require is just a motion.
Okay, I'm fine with that if you'd like to make that.
Okay.
Do you want to make the motion to waive the procedural bylaw, allowing 3 members to attend via Zoom for the Thursday? That's what I'm looking for.
I could come in person.
Well, that's up to you. That's a long drive for a 10-minute meeting. I totally get where you're coming from.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, thank you. Motion is made by Councilor Wall. Can I
I'll
get-
second the motion.
And is seconded by Councilor Whittle. Discussion regarding the motion? Yes.
So it's to provide an exemption to the council procedure bylaw
Allowing 3 people to attend via Zoom.
We haven't said it.
For Thursday, May 8th meeting.
Interesting. And that's allowed?
Yeah,
Does it override this bylaw?
as long as
As long
it's
as it's
a motion and it's a decision by council and you unanimously agree, then yes.
Is it unanimous?
I think it must be
Yeah, it
unanimous.
does have to be unanimous.
Yeah, for an amendment like that, no different than if we're waiving notice. I think, a unanimous decision would be the best bet. And if not, then that's gonna hinder the business of the village, cost staff money and us money and time, so then we gotta figure out another date.
So it'd just be for the May 8th meeting.
It's one item, and
It'll take 10 minutes.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, I'm gonna call the question then. All those in favor?
In favor?
Okay, and that is unanimous. Thank you. Okay, so you can set up those dates for the 7th and the 8th, Mr. Sawalski. That'd be wonderful. Thank you. Reports none. Question period none. In camera none. Rise report none. We are.
The Legion got the stove today.
That's very exciting.
That
The
is
Legion
something
got
good.
congratulations.
Oh, and that's it.
And I adjourn. Thank you. Okay.